All right, everyone, welcome back. You know, when you think about the future, you probably think about flying cars or maybe teleportation. But,
Maybe even time travel.
oh yeah, time travel, right. But I bet you don't think about ports, do you?
Not usually the first thing that springs to mind.
But believe it or not, the world of ports is undergoing a massive transformation, and it's way more exciting than you might think. And since our listeners are all about the cutting edge of global trade, I knew we had to do a deep dive on this.
It's true, and the article we're looking at today, the 5 smartest ports in the world, lays it all out, like how these innovations are going to impact everything we buy, how quickly we get it,
Mm.
and even how much it costs.
Yeah, we're talking about like robot cranes, ports that are literally bigger than some countries, and technology that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. I mean, how cool is that?
And the article makes this point that these ports aren't just adopting fancy tech for the sake of it. They're facing some serious challenges like, efficiency, sustainability, and they're using these tools like AI and IoT to solve these problems.
Okay, so the article keeps mentioning smart ports. So what exactly makes a port smart? Like, is it just a fancy marketing term? What are we talking about here?
No, it's definitely more than just a buzzword. These ports are using technology in some seriously innovative ways. So imagine like AI acting as, a super organized air traffic controller, but for ships. So it prevents like these massive traffic jams that we never even see, which makes everything run so much smoother, faster delivery times, all that.
Oh, I see. So everything behind the scenes is just like super optimized.
Exactly. And then, of course, you have like green energy, which is all about lessening the environmental impact of shipping, which, is a huge concern these days.
Right. Speaking of cool tech, let's start with the Port of Rotterdam, over in the Netherlands. It's Europe's largest port, and they're using something called digital twins. Okay, that sounds like something straight out of a movie.
It does, doesn't it? But basically, it's like a virtual copy of the entire port, like a hyper-realistic simulation. Imagine like building a Lego model of the port, but this model's constantly updating with real-time data.
Whoa, that's insane. So they can, like, see everything that's happening in real time in this virtual world.
Exactly. And it lets them like test changes virtually before actually implementing them in the real world. Avoid those costly mistakes and
Oh,
disruptions.
that's so smart.
Yeah, like let's say they want to see how traffic would flow during like peak seasons or how different weather conditions might impact things. They can simulate all of that in the digital twin.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Okay, next up, we have the Tuas Megaport in Singapore. Now, this one is just mind-blowing. We're talking about a port that's bigger than some countries.
It's going to be huge, absolutely massive. And the crazy part is it's going to be incredibly automated. They're planning on having over 1,000 self-driving vehicles moving cargo around.
Oh, wait, so like those self-driving cars everyone's talking about.
Exactly. But just like on a massive industrial scale, these autonomous vehicles, they can work 24/7, improving efficiency and, potentially reducing human error, which is a big deal.
Wow, okay, well, since we're on the topic of massive operations, let's talk about the Port of Los Angeles,
Yeah.
the busiest port in the U.S. I was thinking about this the other day. Pretty much everything we buy probably came through that port at some point.
Oh, absolutely. And they're using AI in some really clever ways to manage that volume. It helps with scheduling, optimizing how ships are loaded and unloaded, even predicting potential disruptions.
Oh, wow, so like there's going to be a storm or something.
Yeah, exactly. They can kind of get ahead of it.
Yeah.
And all of that leads to a more efficient port, right? So that means less time spent waiting, less fuel consumption, and overall a smaller environmental footprint.
So it's not just about making things run smoothly, it's about like actual environmental benefits too.
Precisely. And these benefits, they can potentially trickle down to consumers, like you and me.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, next on our list is the Tanger Medport in Morocco. This one's interesting because it's strategically located, like right between continents.
Yeah, it's a real rising star in global trade because of that location. And it's grown incredibly fast. Like, it handles millions of containers every year. And the article emphasizes that smarter ports like TangerMed, they can actually boost the entire global trade network, make the whole system more efficient.
That's incredible. Okay, our final stop is the Port of Hamburg in Germany, which has this super cool nickname, the gateway to the world.
I love that. It really captures the history of this port, and now it's getting this awesome modern upgrade.
Yeah, so tell me about that. What makes it so smart?
Well, one of the key features is the Hamburg Vessel Coordination Center. It's basically like a mission control for ships. They use real-time data to make sure everything runs smoothly, optimize traffic flow, and make sure ships arrive and depart on time.
So, like, no more ships just idling around wasting fuel.
Exactly. And by reducing that fuel consumption, you're not just cutting costs, you're also lowering emissions, which is a win-win for everyone.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we've seen some incredible examples of how ports are becoming smarter. But what does this all mean in the big picture? Like, what are the overall trends and the impact we can expect to see?
Well, I think the common thread here is definitely a move toward automation using data to make decisions and this big focus on sustainability. These ports are trying to do more with less, minimize their impact on the environment while also boosting efficiency.
So it's not just about fancy tech. It's about a whole new approach to global trade, basically.
Exactly. And, for consumers, this could mean lower prices on goods because shipping is more efficient, a smaller carbon footprint for the stuff we buy, and even faster delivery times as global trade gets a speed boost.
It's amazing to think that these innovations in ports could have such a direct impact on our daily lives.
It really is. And as these technologies continue to develop, it makes you wonder what the future holds for global trade and how it's going to shape, our planet.
That's definitely something to think about. Well, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of smart ports, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Until next time.
See you then.